Hey, welcome back to the channel. Yes, I have an actual face cam. Yes, there is an actual human being behind this channel. Oh, yeah, me. Anyway, in this video, I was going to go over last week's gameplay in May Mayhem. Last week was Blue Steel, this week is Wine. I'm sorry I couldn't get this out sooner because it would probably help you this week, but I think you're already playing this type of game. I think it's the most used strategy in Townstar right now. Number one. So let's go check out this most used strategy and let's go own it. This is the spot I picked in the Amazon Delta, let's call it. And it's just a forest on a river. And here we are in the town. And as you can see, I made a whole lot of grapes. I went from what they call grape rush right into mass producing grapes. And then, so some of them are red there and yellow. Most of them are green. The trees are over there. I used a fountain in the river to make enough water to have the trees self-watering. And the grapevines will grow in about 7.5 minutes. That's that one there. And I have more than 100 that are growing in the green. So it's really like every 7 minutes I'm selling 100 at a time with this freight pier. And I sell them for 2 gas, so that's a great deal there. So this is kind of a brainless, boring way to play, but when you have 2 kids and work and have to do other things in life, you come on, you sell grapes, you get to rank 448. That's all you have to do. Come back every 7-15 minutes maybe if you have enough silos and you sell grapes. It definitely makes it a lot easier. It's not like I played 24/7 or anything. I played as much as I could. So to make grapes, you need 1 lumber, and to make the lumber you need a water facility and electricity, wood, and to get the electricity you need a worker. So you need a worker house also. And here's my gas setup right now. I have 2 refineries on the side of a power plant there. And there's my water pump next to the pond. There's another power plant on that side of the pond, on that side of the water pump. And I put another water pump there to give the refinery making gas the 2 water drums there. And it gets 1 water drum from that one and 1 water drum from that one. And it gets 6 energy. It gets 3 energy from that power plant and 3 energy from the other power plant. So it gets all the water drums and power it needs. It just needs that 1 petroleum, which that guy's carrying there right now. And that one gets 1 water drum from that. And it gets all the energy it needs from that power plant. And when you build a power plant, you can just make it stop making electricity, and it will give it passively. And then all I need is the crude oil from the 2 oil pumps right there. And those oil pumps are making a polluting effect on these grapes over here. So maybe ideally you want to put the oil pumps back on the away from the grapes. Another YouTuber said that it took them about 8 hours to get all of this set up. And I think that's about what it took me, 6 to 8 hours to get it all set up. But after that, it's sort of just sell grapes, sell grapes, sell grapes. So it's very easy kind of after that. So as you can see here, I've been playing pretty consistently throughout the week. And I'm really only ranked 447 there. I haven't been spending a whole lot of time off, but you can see there's a whole lot of people that are really close together. It kind of makes me think a lot of people are just selling grapes, and they're just doing it a little bit more than I have been. So I had about 133 grape plots on this town, and at least 100 of them were growing in the green, and every 100 sells for $505,000, and every 100 got me 5,400 star points. And you can see here, this week it was blue steel. Blue steel, you need mountains to mine iron and make steel and make blue steel. So all of the people along a river with no mountains they could be making cake, but they're probably just making grapes. And the longer we look at the map, I realized, my God, everyone's doing what I'm doing. Look at all the boats with grapes. It's insane. Everyone's shipping Freightliners with grapes. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know. There's 11 or something. I was going to make a point to say that the city is right at a bridge. The ships will pass right under the bridge. It doesn't matter there. But everyone in this whole Amazon area is shipping grapes. And that's just one of the reasons why it's kind of obvious there's a lot of people doing grapes. And I've only got 2.3 million points. He's got 2.3 million there. So he's got about the same as I do. And yep, there he is right there. So looking at all this, though, it kind of made me wonder. I said every time you sell 100 grapes, you get 5,400 stars for your rank. And you'd have to assume some things. You'd have to assume you sold grapes every 7 minutes. That's what I'm doing. You might do better than that. You might, like I said, move those oil pumps away and get those grapes growing faster, so you get a little better than you might get 6.5 minutes for every 100 grapes. I don't know what the max exactly is you could get. I kind of thought, now wait a minute, if I just sold grapes the whole time, there's a theoretical maximum here. Because every time I sold 100 grapes, I was getting 5,400 points. So we can work out the maths on this one, as our proper English chaps would say from across the pond. As I said, we have 100 grapes is 5,400 points. Then we look at the total competition is 132 hours, 7,920 minutes from start to finish. Very start to finish. So that's kind of unrealistic because you would not be starting with a fully built grape farm like this. But assuming you had 145 grape plots growing every 7.5 minutes, that's how they grow in the green, you would have 145 grapes per 7.5 minutes. Every 7.5 minutes you would have 145 grapes, and that equals 19 1/3 grapes per minute. Now bear with me, hold on. I know you're like, what? 19 1/3 grapes per minute. So you need 100 grapes to sell. Divide that by 19 since we're overestimating already. We'll round down. Divide that by 19. So every 5.25-ish minutes, we'd be selling 100 grapes. And that's like perfect conditions, kind of. So for our total competition time, 7,920 minutes, divided every 5¼ minutes, that's about 1,505-ish times we're selling, period. That's the max we could sell. And multiply that by 5,400 points and you get 8,130,798 points. Again, this is like perfect conditions and from start to finish. Like I said, you would not be starting with a full grape farm. So this is a complete overestimation. However, as I showed you, I had this set up and I had a few less grapes. I didn't have 145. I had one just over 100 in the green. And I got 2.5 million-ish. And another thing, this 8 million points would be selling every single time you can. It's not being awake 18 hours a day and selling every minute you can and sleeping for 6 hours a day for the whole week. It would be being awake 24 hours a day and selling every time you could. Being on the computer selling every single minute you could. So clearly the number one guy is 16, almost 17 million points. He's not just selling grapes, because that'd be impossible to get that many points with just grapes. So he's doing something else. So just selling grapes and nothing but grapes is not the number one strategy. It may be the most popular, but I don't believe it's the number one strategy. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. As always, if you found it helpful or enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. That would be awesome. And subscribe for more Town Star content. Thanks.